Hey guys, today we're going to be talking about using the auto level feature on your ArcDroid. So what you have to do first is we have to go home. This is not on camera right now, but basically what's happening is the arm on ArcDroid is going and homing out. So the machine knows where it is in position to the table. All right, so we're homed, and what I'm gonna do is I'll just pull the torch over where you guys can see it. Drop it down a little bit. I'd probably say, so when you're doing the auto level, I would recommend probably 1/8 of an inch to 3/16 of an inch between the tip on the plasma torch and the material that you're working with. So then we have to zero. So basically, when you're doing auto level, this is a really handy feature for warped steel. Pretty much any steel that you buy is gonna have, if it's a sheet of 1/8 inch or, even up to half inch. I've had 1/2 inch plate, 4x8 piece of it, where it had a slight warp across it. So what happens is your torch will crash into the material if if you're not using auto level or some kind of THC torch height compensation or something along that lines. But this works for me pretty much every time. There was a few times when I started with the ArcDroid where I did have the plasma cutter, the tip of the torch crash into the steel, and then it starts doing some crazy stuff and it messes your cuts up. So a really easy way to avoid that is we're just going to zero it right there. Got the green light on zero. And basically what you would do is, like, if I had an area, if I had a part that fit in, this area that I'm showing with my fingers, when I do this auto level, it's going to ask for 3 points. So the 3 points have to be in a triangle also. Like, they can't be in a straight line or anything like that. They have to somehow be spread apart where they could form some kind of triangle. So I would do like 1 here, 2 here, and then like 3 here. And if there's any warp in this whole section, what it does is it compensates for that, So if it's going over here and maybe the warp's here and it's bowed up and a little bit higher right here, what it'll do is it'll adjust the torch a little bit higher, you know what I'm saying? So it's a very useful feature. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into fine level, all right? Finding level requires 3 points on your workpiece. Move to point 1. So we're just gonna do it just how it has it set up. You don't have to do it like this. You can do it over here, here, just about anywhere, as long as it makes a triangle, okay? It can be a really weird, acute angle triangle. It doesn't really matter, okay? So we're at point 1. I've got about 1/8 of an inch or so, 3/60, well, about 1/8 of an inch between the torch and the material. So I'm gonna hit next. And you'll see torch goes down, probing, move to point 2. We're gonna hit next, point 2. Torch going down, probing, move to point 3. Somewhere over here. Next, probing. Got level, press next to test. Now usually I skip this level, because what it's going to do is it's going to start moving around. So I usually just hit exit because I don't really care to see it do that. But for demonstrative purposes, I'll hit next. And we see the torch moves across the surface of the workpiece. Okay, so that's moving to point 1. You hit next, it'll go to point 2. Boom, all good. Point 3, and then I believe it's going to say finish, or well, you just hit, yep, there you go. So now we're level. You can see over here, it's made some adjustments with the numbers. And then up here on auto level, you might be able to see that the light is green right there now. Before it was red, okay? So that's how you set up auto level with ArcDroid. Always make sure that all of your firmware and software is up to date. There's a certain way you're supposed to install it, especially, if you've got a new ArcDroid, or maybe you've had one that's been sitting up in the corner for a while. Go ahead and just load those files on your USB and get your, get your system updated. I also have the hookups for the THC, and I also was given the code by ArcDroid for the torch height control, torch height compensation, whatever you want to call it. And I messed around with it a little bit. I will be doing a video on that, but I didn't really, I prefer the auto level to the THC. So